Screaming, it's an act of defiance. Woo!
I'm not convinced by that, but sure. Okay.
Okay, well, you know what, Cleo? I think streaming as a creative or artistic expenditure of energy, as a performance, can have a intrinsically rebellious element to it. I think you can say like, okay, landlord, I'm gonna take the money I make off this and hit the bricks. You know, I'm out of here. I I think that just being here is an act of self-expression that becomes a self-expression of potentiality. It's an individual statement. You stand up proudly and proclaim, I am.
Okay, we didn't actually talk before we went live.
No.
So
Yeah, normally we get all the weird stuff out first, but we're just going into it.
So I didn't get the opportunity really to tell you that I will possibly need to take a phone call from my cat's vet.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that.
During this stream, that's okay.
I
don't mind that they know.
I can cover for you on that, and I didn't go into specifics about the landlord thing, other than just acknowledging what you said on Twitter. So
yeah, no. Yesterday was possibly one of it was a train wreck from start to finish. So yeah.
Well,
I'm here, and that I am present in this moment, and that's all anyone can ask of me. And today hasn't been much better either. So
okay, well, I know that one of the most important things that someone can do when they're having a bad day like that, when they're really struggling, is to seek help. And sometimes that help says, "Great clown zombie Cleo is in town streaming tonight." But Doctor, you are zombie Cleo. And so I decided I would come in and be the great clown this morning. I hope you're prepared for that. I got some actual funny, upbeat stuff to talk about.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, sure, we can do that.
Okay, but you know, I want to make sure anything you want to lay on the table first. I want to make sure that your needs are heard. What is up with Cleo? Is there any trains that we need to choo? Because
not just yet, but okay, people are being nice, and I am gonna cry. If they continue being nice, I'm gonna cry like a lot today.
I see a level 2 hype train.
Yeah, and I've also got £100 tip. And Curious, thank you, who says here's to a better day. Thanks. That is part of the extra rent payment this month.
Yay!
Yay! I appreciate you guys. You guys are wonderful. We do have a hype train. Thank you to Canna Russia for the 24 months. Glad to catch stream. Glad that you're here. Chamber Online has resubscribed for 9 months. Twitch baby, yours is called Barry.
Barry,
thank you for the Barry. It's like a
little
British
French hat.
name.
I'm gonna turn my hat sideways. That's almost French.
It's such a British name. Thank you, Incurious, for the £100 tip. I appreciate you. McLesley cheered Cleo biddies. Paleo cheered biddies. Thank you very much. Chloe Somewhere resubscribed for 26 months. Lady Gwendolyn cheered backpack biddies for the Make Cleo Cry. I'm already there. I'm already there. Miss Arnie for the Cleo biddies, Shifty for the Cleo biddies, and Sailor Moliander, thank you for the $10 tip. I hope your day gets better. I mean, this isn't bad, as, in general. This is all right.
I've got 2 messages I want to read real quick, Cleo, if you have time.
Go for it.
I think the first one comes in from Salem and says, "Time to clown, woo!" And so we're going to go ahead and rotate 10. I had the good fortune of meeting Salem, and I don't know if you'd call them a posse or a cohort, but 4 of Salem's friends came to the meetup at the pinball arcade on Monday, which
Mm-hmm.
is always good. If your friend is like, I'm gonna go meet some random guy on the internet who makes YouTube videos at a bar, being like, let's bring four
Let's go
really
together.
cool looking people. Honestly, they were all cool and very chill and very like happy, good to meet people. But also, I would not have wanted to fight any of them. Like, especially the whole pack. Like, these are the people you bring when you have your when you go on Craigslist and you're like, I want to buy this violin and it's $600 and I'm showing up with $600 in cash. You get out of the car with these four people. It's like, yeah, this is like something out of Firefly. We're doing this well.
Okay, Salem, what I'm hearing is you've intimidated Joe sufficiently.
I wasn't intimidated, but I was just like, this was well executed. But they were also really fun and great people. So I'm not like, oh man, all these bruisers that Salem rolled in with had me scared. But
yeah.
Salem says the household likes sitting around and watching your videos. I'm sending them this clip. Awesome. They were all amazing people. I was so happy to meet them. We got another 8 rolling in from Evan Netta, who says clowning is always fun. So we're going to rotate the camera another 8 degrees. And then Ink Curious with a solid 100. That's going to bring us up to 118. Says, one last peaceful craft stream before the chaos of moving really kicks in. Happy birthday to me and to you, since I won't likely be around for streaming the rest of the week. So Cleo, if you'll indulge me, I do have a habit here when a viewer has a birthday. Feliz cumpleaños a ti. Feliz cumpleaños a ti. Feliz cumpleaños a Ink Curioso. Feliz cumpleaños a ti. Y muchas más. So that's going to get us up. Yeah. Woo. So thank you very much, Incurious. That's going to get us up to 118 degrees angular. I'm saying this to pad out the fact that it's taking this long to rotate. Boom. I got another tip rolling in.
I mean, I've got more tips that have rolled in.
Yeah,
so, you know.
well, real quick, Leslie tips 5 and says, morning, Joe. So that's going to bring us up to 123. Cleo, I'll pass the baton back to you.
Okay, so thank you, Canna Russia, for the 5 Stream Roots packs. That's very much appreciated. Oka the Reptile resubscribed for 28 months. It says, time does fly. How is our zombie overlord today? Could be better. But you guys are like, you know, you're making me cry, and that's the good things. Jaco Works has resubscribed for 6 months. Haven't been around in a bit, but I hope it's going well. It's going. Sandmeeks has resubscribed for 27 months and says, hello, I appreciate that. And Crystalite is resubscribed for 21,000 and says, thank you, Cleo, for being you. I genuinely don't know how to do anyone else. So you're stuck with me, I'm afraid.
Well, and that's one of my favorite parts of this stream is you get to express yourself through crafts and art.
I do. I really do.
It's you displaying you projecting you. More Cleo, the better.
Happy birthday, Alex, as well. Alex just said it's their birthday.
And also happy birthday to Alex from Cleo's chat.
Yay.
Okay, so if we're all caught up, one of the things, I don't know if you've seen Doc's perimeter lately, but apparently he's got...
I have.
Okay, so have you seen the giant live, laugh, love in cursive that Grian put in? You know, that got me thinking of some of my favorite home decor items that some of my friends have. Cleo, I think I sent you I'm gonna post this picture in your chat. Here's a picture of me. I think that'll work as a direct photo.
Yeah, you should be fine.
Yeah, in this house we believe this is not a place of honor. No highly esteemed deed is commemorated here. Nothing is valued here. What is here is dangerous and repulsive. The danger is in a particular location. The danger is still present in your time. This place is best left shunned and uninhabited. So you could possibly decorate your new home with something woodcut like this, maybe. Maybe not exactly this message.
Similar. Yeah.
I'm also thinking, we could get you a Scream Stream Dream sign.
Oh, God.
We could get you a cross stitch that says, please don't snort coke in the bathroom. The same friend who has the Coke embroidery and this sign also has a giant rock on his dining room table that has laser etched into it. Nothing is written in stone.
I like that.
So we could get you a rock. Um,
I'm a geologist. I have had plenty of rocks.
okay, okay. But anyway, I was just thinking, we could maybe think about some funny motivational things to put in your new Scottish home.
My
Um,
new Scottish home,
yeah,
eventually.
yeah. Well, it's
God.
funny because right now you're English and your cats are English. But if
Mm-hmm.
let's say that down the line, like 10, 20 years out, you get a new pet, that pet's going to be Scottish. And you're going to want to make sure that that home is welcoming. You're going to want to get ahead of that and make sure you've got some proper Scottish decorations set up.
I mean, I am English. It is already kind of a problem. Like,
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure like how your legal system works, but one thing we were kicking around on one of my previous streams,
mm-hmm.
this guy Saucefire who runs charity D&D events, which I also wanted to talk to you about funny charity D&D characters later. So this is a great transition. He pitched the idea that what I need for my doormat for my apartment, not in D&D but in real life, is live, laugh, come back with a warrant.
Yeah, no, I accept that one.
I think
But
that
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Salem writes, I have a cross-stitch design for May Godzilla destroy this home last.
I mean, honestly, if that's an issue, like, go out first. You
Yeah,
don't
no,
need the screaming.
I was going to say, in contrast, the Lovecraftian alternative would be make Cthulhu devour this family first. Because that's the
Yeah.
reward for the cultists in Lovecraft, is that they get eaten first and without suffering, while everybody else's punishment is they have to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm more of a like take me first kind of thing. Actually, in Cthulhu, yes. In most apocalypses, I'm quite useful.
You're fine.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, I've got like a good science knowledge, a good geological knowledge, which means I can find clean water, and I know how to keep things. I know about germ theory, and I know how to purify water. So, and I know about like crop rotation and stuff.
Woo.
So,
Got to turn those crops toward
Those
the
clops,
sun. We're gonna
yeah.
get the My Little Pony kids in here.
we're not clopping. No,
No.
no clopping here.
Chloe the Great and Powerful says, I have a bless this wretched hive of scum and villainy cross stitch hanging in my room.
Perfect.
See, there you go. There you go. So, Cleo, let's look at this. Once again, we don't want to attract the My Little Pony kids, not as a clopportunity, but as an opportunity to create a new home for yourself with even more ludicrous things in it.
I was been clearing out my house yesterday. I think I told you, like, I pulled some muscles, but I have a lot of stupid stuff.
Oh, yeah?
That I do not need to take with me. And I'm just like, I've lived in this house for, this is like nearly 18 years I've lived in this house. This is the first time I think it's been unreasonable, you know?
This is one of the reasons I've avoided accumulating, like, I go out of my way to avoid accumulating possessions, and yet it still happens.
I have been to the tip so many times in the last 24 hours. It's just been ridiculous. Thank you, Crystalite, for the 2 gift subs that you've given out. I appreciate that.
Woo.
And Geek and Many Topics has resubscribed for 25 months. Always a pleasure.
Yay.
Prescriptions are free here in Scotland.
Wait, what are free here in Scotland?
Well, even for me. Meaning that I can go from having 2 inhalers every time and down to 1 without having to worry about payment. Wow. Sorry.
Yeah, Shifty Pumpkin tips 30, so let's get that on the board here, and writes, boy, I'm not sure what this means. More clops means more ops. So...
That is... Shifty Pumpkin is one of those people where you just smile and nod.
I'm very smiley and very naughty. Does naughty mean tired?
Because
I don't know.
Knowing what Shifty
mean,
Pumpkin
like,
is on
on
about
drugs?
is... sometimes I have questions. I appreciate you, Shifty. I'm just saying, sometimes you say things and... I mean, you're not red. You're not arterial red.
Well,
Let's put it like that.
My project
You were in the same vein.
My project manager, NJ Coffee Junkie, spoke with me on the. We had our Wednesday morning planning call for the week this morning, and she said to make sure to send you her love. I waited until I saw her pop into my chat so she would have video evidence that she doesn't have to go scrub through the VOD for that I did it. Look, check that off the to-do list. I'm knocking out the whole week.
Only because you turned up.
But only because you turned up. Only because I require constant supervision.
How has Atlas been doing? Atlas has been doing very, very well. One of the terrible things that happened yesterday is I had to drug my cat, which was quite funny.
So was this like
take it to the vet?
Was this like pills in the food, or was this like syringe in the neck, like sneak up behind it, it like goes into the shower, you rip the curtain back, needle like Dexter?
No. She takes pills quite well, so I just had to, like it was a human med that the vet prescribed, and it was like very much. You need to sign this piece of paper saying you understand it's a controlled substance, and because it's for humans, you are not allowed to take this medicine for yourself.
Or because it's for cats, not for humans.
No, it's a human med.
Oh, because it's a human med.
Because it's a human controlled substance. It's something that humans use to get high.
Oh, gotcha.
And they're like, you are not allowed to have this take this med yourself. And I was like, that hadn't even crossed my mind, but okay. So I drugged her, and she was absolutely high, but she still fought so much, even in a complete stupor, that they couldn't get blood from her.
Oh no.
So now we have to she's doing better. She's like, I think she's back to normal. But we're now in this conversation, which is what the phone call might be about when they call, because they've already called once today and I missed it because I was driving. Don't get high on kitty med. No, that's probably bad. But
don't do cat meds in the bathroom.
Don't do cat. Funny fact. Did do cat meds in the bathroom to the cat.
Yeah.
Well, that's a smart place. I can shut the door and it's a small place to do. Yeah, that's pretty much why I have to. She's not too bad about meds though. It's the other one that's just a nightmare. But yeah, no, they couldn't take the blood from her. So now we have to talk about maybe taking her in, and they do the injection syringe in the neck. And just like completely knock her out so they can take bloods from her. I don't think that's going to happen because she's like looking better, but it's a case of if she gets pancreatitis again, like we're going to have to like figure out ways to sedate her, to take meds. New cross stitch. Don't do cat meds in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Don't do horse paste in the bath. Sorry, no. Let's. It's not topical anymore. I can't talk about that. Yeah. Shifty, thank you for the 30.
That sounds like a callback to a previous bit that I was not a part of.
Thank you for the $30 for the Scottish Rocks funds. I appreciate you. Even if you are not red, you are in fact orange. I don't know why I put you two on like nearly the same level, but like there's lists, like I'm sure you have this in your chat. There's people that you know quite well in chat, and there's people that you don't know quite as well but are still regular enough that you recognize who they are and can have a bit of a banter. And there's people you don't really know very much.
Yeah.
So you're careful about what you say to them. So like Arterial Red and Shifty are in that sort of I can joke around with them and they will not take it personally kind of thing. So that's where I was going with that, Shifty. I don't know why I've chosen today to say that, but
I will say, Nez suggests a cross stitch that says, "Don't let the cats out or the cops in." Now your cats are outdoor cats, so it doesn't matter quite as much for you. But...
They are indoor-outdoor cats, because indoor cats aren't really a thing here.
Really?
I only really learnt about indoor cats like 5 years ago.
Well, I guess all the animals that are going to go extinct on your island are already extinct.
Oh yeah, pretty much. We pretty much killed off everything.
Like it's done. You're not salvaging that situation.
Yeah. But also it's just like, I have never met. No, I tell a lie. I've met an indoor cat, but both of those were adopted within the last 3 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah, both of Badger's cats were rescues that have reasons that they have to stay indoors.
Yeah, probably something like FIV or something. So
what's that? I'm not sure. I've heard that.
That
term.
would be
Is that short for something?
feline. One of them is feline HIV and feline leukemia, I believe, is the other one.
Gotcha.
Didn't the UK even have to import squirrels? No. Unfortunately, we don't want the squirrels that have been imported because they're the grey ones are killing off the red ones. So we would like the opposite of that, please. But yeah, if I was to do it over again, and particularly within the house, I mean, they don't mind being just inside over winter.
Mm-hmm.
They do really enjoy the outside, so I feel like it's a bit cruel to them now to, necessarily not let them out. But I'm thinking about doing maybe a catio.
Ooh.
Or maybe I'm trying to figure ways to keep them inside, to be honest, more often because they're getting old now.
Mm-hmm. Well, real quick, I'm rotating the camera another 5 degrees angular thanks to Muse. Thank you, Muse, for the 5. Yeah, one of my brothers has a little like screened-in porch in his backyard. And
that's basically a catio.
Yeah, his cat can go out there, and he's like, yeah, the cat can go on the back porch, but can't really go out in the yard, because what'll happen is it'll see a rabbit and then it'll freak out. Like, not like, ooh, there's something for me to eat, but like, oh no, I'm terrified of this, there's another creature here, and I don't know how to handle this information.
I've only got one of my cats that is in any way a hunter. They don't really go outside my back garden, to be fair. The furthest I've seen one of my cats and is like I live down like a little side passageway. I've seen her at the edge of the side passageway, waiting for me to come back home. So that's the furthest I feel like they've gone, because every time I call, they are, they come out from behind the shed or what have you. I could leash. No, my cats. I can't pick one of my cats up at all, because of rescue reasons. So catching one of them to put them on a leash is a no-go, I'm afraid.
You're not gonna put the cat in catching?
No.
Okay.
Cat tried to befriend the neighbour's cat through the fence. Other cat slapped him. Then their dog started barking. We're now starting over teaching our cat the balcony is okay to... Yeah. Cats know where it's safe and where the food is, and they're lazy as hell. So... I don't know how to say anything more than that. They're just lazy. So, Joe, what did you have planned today? Because
I'm following through on my plan from last week. So last week I made the first of 2 shrouds for the fans. And this week I've begun by tracing that one onto the second sheet of cardboard. I realized originally I thought like I was gonna have to duct tape the shroud onto the fan right away to get any benefit, but because the air was getting sucked back in on the corners, it turned out if I had the fan on, I could just set the shroud in front of it and it would set itself. It would get sucked into place. So I was like, okay, well then I'm not going to rush and work on this off camera. I'll just use it like that. And then for this morning's stream, I put the shroud I made last week on top of this, traced it, and I have begun cutting already. So, making progress.
Good. And I hope you're able to breathe.
It's gotten a lot better here. I will tell you that. So
That seems reasonable.
So
Your cat only hugged me and climbed on my shoulders when we were at the vet the other week. She's been a maidie outside for the past few months. Aw. Yeah, well, my cats spend more time in like honestly, my cats follow me around my house.
Mhm.
So, you know, if I'm in a room, they are also in a room.
the same
And it's
room,
really
even.
annoying. It is the same room, and it's really annoying. Uh, so, you know,
Well, I forget if it was the Bill Murray film is Scrooged, where he proposes television for cats. But you know, you are the most interesting thing to watch. And actually, the fact that like so many people are watching you right now, like, can you blame the cats? Like they don't have Twitch. All they can watch is you. But if people who have the option to watch any of like 20,000 people who are streaming on Twitch right now, and they're selecting Zombie Cleo, these cats who have one choice, I guess in some ways they're blessed. I don't know. I'm not really going anywhere with this. I'm just gonna stop talking.
okay. I was wondering if
I'm
this was
like,
a
there's no
bit.
payoff to this. I'm just like, my brain is tired. I'm cutting cardboard.
I mean, fair.
Yeah, somebody needs to make Twitch for cats. Oh wait, that exists. There's like some shows with like bird feeders, and there's shows with fish tanks and stuff.
Oh, like one of my favorite things to do with my cats is to put on cat videos of vocal cats and watch them try and figure out where the noise is coming from. It feels cruel, but it is funny.
Badger's got like an iPad app with like mice that run around or something, and when the cats like tap, it's basically kind of like a whack-a-mole game where the mice run from holes on one side of the screen to the other.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah. So there are video games for cats, but yeah. It's probably better to have them interacting with the real world. This is just for when you take them to a restaurant and you want them to shut up so you can talk to the other adults.
This is why I question your ability to own pets, Joe.
Yeah. That's fine.
Well, that sounded
just
dangerous.
a xylophone falling on a lot of electronics. Fine.
It's normal stuff.
Normal studio stuff.
It's not cruel, it's enrichment.
Yeah.
One of my times, like, Atlas will chase the cursor. Well, I say that like if I'm working and she's on the seat in front of me, she will watch the cursor, and when I notice she's doing that, I'll mess around with the cursor, and she will try occasionally to grab it, but not often.
Badger says you need to give the cats physical rewards when you play games like that. It's the same with laser pointers. They get frustrated if they don't get physical rewards out of it. That makes sense.
Yeah. Which is why they find hunting very rewarding.
Nom 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 nom.
I've been watching this person who has like buttons that the cat presses, so they talk to each other, and it is eerie how much the cat seems to understand.
What is the like? How many buttons are we talking about? And what's the vocabulary?
We're talking about 100.
100 buttons?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I was thinking like one for food, one for water, one for tired. No.
We've got the cat's name's Billy, and it's Billy, play now. And then when she goes, when the cat's tied out, she's like, the mum will press the buttons to communicate with the cat, and she says, Billy, play, and she goes, and the cat will respond later. Sometimes you'll go later night, and it will tell the mum that there's a bird outside that they want to watch, or a squirrel. And it will tell the mum to like, Mum, come. Like, it will combine those buttons. Yeah, I'm talking about Billy. Yeah. It will combine those buttons into, like pretty much sentences. You don't have the food or treat buttons for obvious reasons, yes. Cat's favourite button is mad. Just mad.
Why is it mad? Does it explain?
Well, the cat doesn't explain, but usually it's because they won't give food now, or they won't come and play immediately, or just sort of like mad, mad, mad. Very angry kitty. But that's like if you were to give a toddler those sorts of things, they couldn't communicate yet. Mad would be their favourite button.
They're mad because the answer is no, says Mind of Me. Like, that's just the immediate response to anything they don't want to hear. Displeasure.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the cats, you know, that feels fairly standard.
Yeah.
It's my favourite button too. I mean, I'm not averse to it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty mad today. But I have chosen to vent my anger in healthy ways by drawing pictures of mermaids.
Yay, mermaids. Castaboris says, my cat's favorite button is pets. So, Castaboris, how many buttons are on your cat keyboard? Because I'm assuming that the 100 button one is exceptional, but most people would not have that many.
I love the one where Billy was embarrassed for making a mistake calling Grandma Auntie. Oh, I didn't see that one. Keeping it simple, adding buttons slowly, 6 buttons so far. Yeah, that's what the channel said that they had done. They started small, and then they just added buttons over time, and then.
What's the methodology for teaching the cat new buttons?
From what I remember, and I'm answering before Castaboris can answer.
Yeah, I'm curious about both because maybe Billy and Castaboris have different experiences.
It's case of, like, for example, like if you had like a play button, you would hit play before every time you played with the cat, and every so often through it. Or with food is like you press the button and then you give food, and then eventually they will start pressing the button. Like, it takes months and months for them to get used to the idea of the buttons, but they will start pressing food. Like, they will start pressing button.
Gotcha. Yeah, Badger says you usually start them off with food, pets, play, etc.
The recommender is you don't start with food.
Yeah, I would.
That will be the only one that they press.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, you start with things that they enjoy and then they know and they recognize, and then you move on from there.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think it, like, I would like to do that with my cats, but only one of them would understand, and then the other one would be very confused because they're ginger. And ginger cats are not smart.
Maybe they're just not good at nonverbal communication. Maybe you need to find out that this is actually what that cat needed the whole time.
Maybe. Every ginger cat I've known has been the loveliest cat ever, but dumb as rocks. All ginger cats do have one brain cell. This is true. One big orange brain cell. Your cat just... I mean, some cats won't, but, you know, if you do this from when they're little, you're just picturing your cats telling you to go to bed. No, your cats would be telling you to wake up and pet them.
Badger says, my old cat Tia used to ask for milk with a meow that sounded a lot like milk. She'd sit by the fridge and say, milk, milk.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like something cats would do as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mine just ask for food by coming and being very affectionate.
Like, don't you remember how much you love me enough to provide me with food?
Pretty much. Although GLaDOS hasn't eaten yet today, and I don't know why specifically. So I'll have to make sure she's... You have to keep an eye on her for now. Because I don't have enough to worry about. What with your sister being sick?
She's speaking to the cat there, and my sister is not sick. For any of the viewers who know Quinn. Quinn is fine.
To be fair, Atlas isn't sick anymore, really, either. She's even got past the drugging.
Yay.
From a geologist's point of view, how dumb are rocks? JT, if the average cat has an intelligence of 50, they have an intelligence of -1. GLaDOS is a great cat name. I was proud of it. What can you say?
And this was even years before Portal came out, so that was a vindication for Cleo.
Yeah, definitely had my cat for 20 years.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Portal has been out since what, 2001 now or something? No, not 2001, 2005. Wait, when did the orange box? 2007. Okay.
Yeah. Not quite 20 years, 2007, yeah. Let's just say they are named after villains of that era of gaming. Because it's a cat. If it's not named after a villain, what are you doing with your life? You had the opportunity to name it anything, and you named it after a hero? Ugh, no. It's a cat. Come now.
Yeah, Atlas famously shrugged and did not pursue
Funnily
heroism.
enough, there is a game that references pretty much Atlas Shrugged and has a character in it called Atlas who turns out to be the villain. You not ever played BioShock out of curiosity?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
I know that you've played it, but it's one of those things like everybody's just like, oh, the game runs fine if you install a bunch of mods and fix a bunch of problems and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like,
I've never had any problems with BioShock.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
So, not from a running standpoint.
Gotcha. No,
from an emotional destruction standpoint, on the other hand.
Yeah, I've seen people stream it. Oh, wait, no. Maybe I'm thinking of Fallout that people said that about.
Oh, Fallout, absolutely, yeah. That one's difficult to...
But it's like by the same people, right?
No.
No, okay. This is how little I know about it. Sorry. Moonroses says, my cat looked at the screen when you meowed. And Badger says, the same cat scared the crap out of my friend because she walked into a room where my cat was, and the cat said, meow. That's supposed to be hello in cat, but I can't do. Meow.
I mean, there is like a TikTok video at the moment that has a cat that basically sounds that they've put to music. It says, sometimes I'm alone, sometimes I'm not, sometimes I'm alone, hello, and it's the saddest thing ever. And I can see where they would think that, but it's just sort of like sad kitties. Played all 3 multiple times, never had any issues. You would probably be I don't really have any problems with 76 anymore. But Fallout 3 crashes a lot, and so does New Vegas if you don't have specific plugins. So yeah.
Okay, so Cleo, I've got another home decor sign for you. I'm going to post a link in your chat. I found this home decor sign on the street. This is literally a photograph I took. So it's a street sign as well as a home decor sign. If I have to stir
it, it's homemade.
There you go.
Fair.
I also like that the I is lowercase because it's like if you were, and the H is like off the cropping, like the frame is just like this is somebody just did not care. Somebody.
Yeah, it does scream.
It's just like this was mass produced for the masses. This is not your intellectuals home decor. This is not your geologist, BioShock players home decor. So I feel like Cleo.
I mean, I feel like you're mocking me now, which
no,
is
no, no.
Par for
What
the
I was
course,
saying is that your equivalent to this would be something like if I have to slice it, it's handmade. Like what's the crafty Cleo equivalent?
I don't know if I have to. I mean, that's just saying I'm lazy and claiming things as handmade that aren't handmade. Which I am lazy. That is true.
Yeah, but it also implies that you like slicing things and and yeah, it's like this is my handmade friend. Good times with Scar. I sliced him real good. Like.
I guess I don't think I've ever actually killed Scar.
Really? He kills me all the time.
How many times have you killed him?
Oh, I don't really do that. But yeah, so you might have a point there.
Have you considered that's what he wants? He wants you to try and kill him.
Then that's rewarding bad behavior then. Oh, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, sometimes he's just requires some love and affection.
Yeah, this in
the form of murder.
Scar screaming hot guy and murdering people is the Scar equivalent of the pets button.
Yes. You should remedy that. I'm not able to kill Scar. You know that. If I was able to kill Scar, I would have done it many times.
Yeah, there you go.
It would be hard to kill Scar before he accidentally kills himself.
Yeah, he'll end up in his own death loop. Yeah,
which is funny.
That Scar card, the Scarred, if you will, which some people were pronouncing as Skurred, because that's how they're spelling it in the game. But yeah, that Scar card has death loop, where it basically has an automatic totem. The first time you kill Scar, he comes back with 50 HP. But that got played a lot yesterday in the TCG Tuesday. We actually had a really good turnout later. It sucks that you were like next week though. Like
I'm planning to be there next week, for the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
it'll be really good.
Tuesday is my day off.
No,
it's like the one.
I get that.
And I'm really struggling to fit all my chores in the beginning of the day. So
yeah, because we had 5 people basically continuously, and so like with a 6th, we could get 2 games running at once. Although I will say, the nice thing about 5 people is like Club and I were switching off judging, playing, and observing and stuff, and so like I actually got to like eat dinner during the stream because Doc peer pressured me into not leaving. I was like, okay, I gotta go make dinner. And Doc's like, no, you have no child today. You do not need to leave to go eat. You eat here at computer. And I was like, yeah, I guess I do. But yeah, so I could just sit there while a few of them played, and Cub judged. Hey, I just got a gift sub.
Yeah, Castleham gifted 20 subs to the community. Thank you very much. One of them happened to hit Joe.
It me. I'm community. Yay.
You is my community, Joe.
I did it.
You did it. You're part of the crew. For whatever that's worth. It's worth a lot to me, to be fair. Ooh. I appreciate you guys.
I'm crew.
And thank you, Dormabel, who was also resubscribed for 8 months. You guys are wonderful. You guys are wonderful. Did I just hit my... Hang on. I don't know where my goals are. I don't think I did.
Arita Snow says, I think that was a terrible accent because German has more articles than English, so missing an article would be weird. Yeah, so I need to be more like, Joe, you go eat and the dinner. Like, let's just throw them in there.
Yeah, because Doc, really bad at speaking English, apparently.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, not at all. TCG Tuesday was a lot of fun yesterday. I mean, I will probably stream next week and just do a long stream and try and figure out like another day to do something. Like,
well, or even if you don't want to stream, if you're just like, you know what, I'll come in and I'll do a game, then I'll get back to some of my chores, then I'll come in and do another game. Like with 5 or 6 people streaming, you know, nobody's going to be watching every stream anyway. You can pop in and out.
True.
Like, if this is your one day that you're used to not streaming, like, you don't, because like I feel like once I start streaming, I have to stream for at least an hour, right? Whereas a TCG game,
at least
if you win or lose fast, like there's single hermit games where it's like, okay, that was over in 8 minutes. So you pop in, you're like, okay, I can commit to a game or two depending on how short the first one is. Play a game or two, then you're like, okay, I'm gonna run to the post office or go grab groceries. You come back, oh, you guys are still playing, let me do another one. I can judge one here if you want, that sort of thing, and that way you still have some flexibility in your day.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would like to be there, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah,
because it's fun just to hang out with you guys, and I don't think we do that enough as a group. So, you know.
Oh, yeah, and, like, when I was making my dinner, like, I just left the screen on pointed at the board in the voice chat, right? And so it's like people could see, from my point of the view, the board or whatever, and then I came back, and, like, I didn't unmute until I was done eating. And so, like, there was, like, one game that just played without me. I was keeping an eye on the chat on my phone just in case I need to moderate anything, but, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's fine. You know, it's way more... When you have 6 hermits on stream... You really don't need to be talking the amount of time you talk on a solo stream. You should be talking about a 1/6 of that on average, you know? So if we each take turns covering for each other, you know, it's easier to do that.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, and I do appreciate the perspective.
Yeah.
I might give it a go. Chat help Ren with his maths.
Yeah, Evan Netta was the math calculator in Ren's stream.
Chat helped Ren with maths. Green was popping in and out with questions and playing other games.
Or Green was popping in and out. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so, like, between his own rounds, I don't know if Green was playing, like, Mario Kart or League of Legends or something. But, like, yeah.
Oh, he was definitely playing. Sorry. I can't remember what game he was playing. I think it was Pokemon when it first came out. But we were doing a limited life recording, and I just remember seeing video of him. Like, he was supposed to be helping out his friends. He was supposed to wait at a place, and when they gave the signal to fire the contraption, but he was there for like 20 minutes, and it was like, and all you heard was the sneaky sound of the switch turning on. And he was going, what? This is fine. I'm just going to play some Pokemon whilst I wait for my friends.
Nice.
So, yeah, he is known to do that on occasion.
I mean,
Yeah.
I will say while I was eating dinner, I did have threes out on my phone because I was I just I don't know. I don't need to have both hands on my food. It's fine. Have you played threes? It's the game that they ripped off to make 2048.
No.
Oh, it's like a little tile sliding game. I've been
Okay.
it's probably one of the it was like when I got it was $3, I think. But I've probably
Makes
gotten
sense.
more hours per dollar out of that game than anything else because even though I played a lot more Minecraft, I bought several copies of Minecraft over the years. I've spent more money on Minecraft by a lot than I spent on threes. So I don't know how that works out.
I don't know how that works out either. Minecraft feels like a one and done purchase.
Well, because like you buy a spectator account, right?
I guess technically, I don't think I've used a spectator account in years.
Okay. And then like
I mean, that just,
I paid to go to their convention and like I don't know.
yeah, no, I guess that's true.
Would you consider like when you bought like I for Fallout you got like the helmet edition, like would you consider that money you spent on the game?
No,
No, okay, because you got a helmet out of it.
yeah, I specifically got the helmet because I love the helmet, and it hangs up on my wall.
Yay!
It's literally behind me right now, along with the new California Republic flag.
Woo!
It's the flag is. Hang on, I'm going to do this on camera. The flag is there. The helmet is there. Just up there. So, Cleo getting the radioactive merch, of course. You got the Fallout NCR helmet. I did. Can you hang on my wall, Blaze?
Are you
I mean,
Spider-Man?
honestly, I'm planning on moving, and these walls are paper thin anyway. So probably not. I'd have to get some severe bracketing put in, and it's not my house, so.
I like the idea that severe bracketing is very stern. Like if you mess up, you'll know.
I mean, I suppose. It was 76 merch that it was radioactive. I think it was 4's merch that was radioactive. 76's merch was they sneakily downgraded it. One of the pieces of merchandise got absolutely nailed, and then they said, "Okay, we'll replace it with what it was supposed to be. Just send us a message." I did actually get the bag that went from, cheap PVC kind of thing to like a proper canvas bag. Yeah, the problem with renting is that they never let you hang people from your wall. Yeah, that's true. You love mermaids. Good. I'm just trying to I don't know what I'm trying to do on a regular basis, guys. So like I'm just making like little mermaid kind of like silhouettes in the water. Something in the water. Which I suppose is head there, body, tail. And some arms. I'm not good at drawing people. Well, I'm all right at drawing people, but.
Let's see. Evan says, "Did my message get deleted?" I don't know. If you post words that are banned in the chat, the auto mod will automatically delete them. So.
Can you hang cameras wall? Blaze.
Yeah. So if you said words that show up often in like botnet advertisements, like tried to selling me followers or something, it'll automatically get removed. Those are some pretty cool mermaid sketches there, Cleo. I got your video up, not on my screen for people to see because of the no simulcasting rule. But
yeah. Thank you. I'm trying. Yeah. I'm not very. I don't. They're all right, but they're only tiny and they're only in silhouette. So What are we going to do? We can probably draw more, to be fair.
Salem says there's one point I remember Martin and the Littlewood was both 1,200 on Twitch and streaming another game on YouTube. I cannot multitask that well. I could definitely think of some games. Like, I think I could play Civilization on Twitch while playing Minecraft on YouTube. Because Civilization's turn-based.
Yeah.
And so I could maybe play... I think 2 turn-based games would be easier, and I would just alternate between the 2. But yeah, I couldn't play Mario Kart and Minecraft at the same time. Oh, I guess I do technically stream pinball in Minecraft sometimes. Like if I'm like if I'm at the like an AFK skeleton farm or something, I'll like play a ball in pinball and then go hit the accumulated skeletons, and with the sword, and then I'll go back to pinball for a ball, go back to the skeletons with the swords. So I guess I wait. Yeah, I was gonna say I literally did this like 3 nights ago. Yes, I have streamed multiple games at once before.
I haven't, because I don't know. I've never had the experience, I suppose.
Small Time Benny says, has anyone actually been hit by the simulcasting rule? Penny Arcade and others I've seen simulcast regularly still. Well, the thing is, if you can get express written permission from Twitch, you can keep simulcasting. I can't. They have not given me that permission. I've been trying to get it. So, yeah. They're not saying simulcasting is banned. They're saying you have to get permission to simulcast, and I don't have it. And, like, you know, the people at Penny Arcade, like, the PAX events are, like, on the front page of Twitch all the time. Twitch is a major sponsor of their convention and often buys, like, a 1,500 to 2,000 square foot booth. The booth that Twitch gets at Penny Arcade Expo is bigger than my apartment, probably. So they could probably get express written permission if they asked. Small Time Benny says, they seemed unaware of the rule change when I asked. Well, here's the thing, though, is they could literally text somebody who could get them that permission in 5 minutes because they're huge corporate partners. So whether or not they knew about that rule when you asked, they're not going to get hit by this. They're just going to get that permission. Whereas Twitch cares nothing for me. They don't rent convention space from me or have any sort of partnership. Yeah. In Soviet Penny Arcade, Twitch partners with you. Microbird says, I think Cookie Clicker could also be an option. I don't really want that many crumbs. Like, in Tennessee, we get a lot of pests, so just having a bunch of cookies lying around that I'm clicking on doesn't seem great.
I mean, to be fair, if that's the thing, then I've played multiple games at once. Because Cookie Clicker just runs in the background, so...
Ta-da! You did it, Cleo. You didn't think you could, but you did. Without even realizing it, see? You're just a natural gamer.
Sure, that's a thing that exists.
You're like the sunrise over a mountain stream. Bubbling. Wait, does the sunrise itself bubble? No. The spring bubbles. Bubbling refers to the spring. There we go.
You did it, Joe.
I did it. I made that sentence.
You made sense. Make sense in some way.
Small Time Benny says, no one I watch has seemed concerned about this or changed their habits. Maybe it's just my small sample size. I mean, when I joined ROTC, they said, well, don't worry about signing the contract because nobody who has medical problems ever has to pay back the government. And I was in the first wave of people when they started running out of money after the Iraq War started, where when my medical problems turned up, I ended up owing them like $40,000, which with interest ended up being more. So just because other people got away with something or are getting away with something, that ruined 10 years of my life. It's like I got to deal with having the double strike of new medical issues that screw up my ability to eat. So I have to spend, so I spent like that 10 years trying to sort out a diet where I could function and hold a job while also needing to pay back tens of thousands of dollars. So I'm just not going to, if Twitch wants me to trust them, they need to act trustworthy, and they're not doing that. If they want me to believe they're not going to go after me for multicasting or simulcasting, they need to just give me that written permission. I don't want to deal with it. I don't have the energy to deal with it. I've wasted all my energy on believing that things will be fine for a whole lifetime. I'm good. I don't have that left. That tank is empty after that 10 years of paying off that debt. So, I'm good. So, yeah. Basically, I would not recommend anyone who's not from a very wealthy family try to join the military as an officer, because you will end up repaying them for your education. So, don't do that. If something goes wrong, you're in real trouble. Yeah, like Salem says, some people get lucky breaks and some people don't. Sometimes it's not worth risking things on the potential goodwill of others. The potential goodwill of others is, you could asterisk this and say, the Amazon Corporation. Like, like, yes, they famously treat their workers well. Like, we don't have a streamers union, and they're not gonna be nice to us. They're not gonna treat us well just because they think we deserve it. No.
Anyway,
sorry. I'm okay. So Cleo, one thing that I wanted to discuss, I mentioned earlier, Saucefire runs charity D&D games. I was thinking the other day about what makes a fun D&D character for like one shots where you don't know the rest of the party. Like it's like, hey, here's two YouTubers and somebody from Twitch and somebody from this comedy troupe in my city or something like that, where you don't know the people, right? And one of the characters I've played that really works well is this like very well-meaning sorcerer that's based off of Ted from Bill and Ted, he's a Tabaxi divine soul sorcerer, and basically whatever terrible ideas the rest of the party has, he'll do his best to encourage them. He's an enabler, and I think enablers as characters keep the action moving, which is good for a charity one shot where you've got like 3 hours. And also you want somebody who's going to enthusiastically agree with the other people to the point where it's comedic. There's like I was watching an Australian comedy film the other day, The Dish, and I realized most of the comedy there isn't from the characters intentionally antagonizing each other. It's from one of them will say something and the other one will agree with them, but in a way that demonstrates they completely missed the point. You know? Like, the film is about this radio telescope that's supposed to get the video feed from the moon landing. And the mayor's talking to his assistant, and he's like, I just got off the phone with the prime minister congratulating me on, the Dish's role in the Apollo 11 mission. You know what they said when I tried to get that dish built here? And the assistant's like, oh, yeah, they said you were grandstanding trying to make a name for yourself. He's like, no, they said I was a dreamer. They said, Bob, you'll never make it happen. And the assistant's like, oh, yeah, sure. That was it. But like, yeah, so I think people were like, how would you play a barbarian in a D&D charity game? And I was like, I think the way to do it is to just like,
yeah, you're
yeah,
not smart enough to do anything else. Just go for it.
yeah. So like, if the wizard's like, we need to solve this puzzle, blah blah blah, like, you know, you need to do this. Instead of being stupid and being like, I don't understand the point of doing this, you say, I will do this because I see the point of it, but then explain what your idea of like, yes, because rock float well in water, wizard have me move it over there. I get it. It's like, no, but as long as pragmatically speaking, the result is you listened to your teammate and did the thing they asked you to do. It keeps the story moving. It's one of those things where it's like, it's not worth arguing about this from the wizard's point of view.
Hello, how you feeling?
So, I was trying to come up with the idea. This is all lead-in for a probably the worst idea I've ever had for D&D or Pathfinder, which is also what kind of makes it the best. I was trying to think of the way to do a cleric character who does not have any damaging spells or use weapons to hurt others. And like the problem with that is, like, as a pacifist, the argument is, well, if you're healing people who are beating people up, you're beating people up with extra steps, right? So I was just like, what's the justification for that? Why would you beat people up with extra steps? And none of the answers to that are pleasant, but they could be a lot of fun, right? So what I realized is I love the idea of playing a cleric who's like from some sort of like very like secluded society. Like, they don't hate outsiders, but they live like really far out of the way and they have their own customs or whatever. And the idea is that like only 3 members of the tribe or the family or the clan or whatever are allowed to commit violence. And it's like this intergenerational thing in the same way that, like, I think there was a Terry Pratchett story where there was a town where nobody could lie. And so when a child was born who could lie, they were the town's liar. And that was their job, was to go handle diplomacy and negotiations, right? So the idea is that this character is born into this society where only like 2 or 3 people are allowed to commit violence. But before he's allowed to commit violence himself, he has to basically do a violence externship where he travels with adventurers, observing the violence of other peoples from all over the world and enabling it through his healing arts. And when his grandfather dies, he will be allowed to commit violence himself. And this is not something where it's like the character's deeply conflicted, like, oh, I want to commit violence, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, my time will come. I am here to learn. Would you like me to heal the enemy so you can beat them again? Like, and so, I was thinking, ideally, he would be from a like water-based society. Like, he's like an amphibious, human-looking. In Pathfinder, there's a species called the Udine who like look like humans, but like they have gills that show up if they go underwater or whatever. And I was like, okay, so he carries a trident around as like the symbol of his god. It's like the god is the sea and it rages with violence or whatever. But
hello.
I picked, I was like, of all of the like weird backgrounds, there were 2 good reasons to pick a water-based one. And one of them is the trident can be a play on like Trinitarian religions, right? Like St. Patrick with the 3-leaf clover. This character has this trident, and each tine of the trident represents one of the foundational beliefs of his society: violence, violence, and violence. And then also, the other thing was, I was thinking, like, you know how in like a movie like Finding Nemo, they always run into the problem that like fish eat other fish?
Yeah.
And they kind of have to like play with that a little bit because they can't completely ignore the food chain, but they also want to make a fun movie where the fish are friends across different species because that sends a, you know, an inclusive message, you know. So I like the idea too that the one thing he is allowed to attack is fish. But it's not. It's because his society doesn't see attacking fish as violence. They see it as like chopping wood. Like that's just part. So you know how there's like people who don't eat meat and they call themselves vegetarians,
I'm aware, yes.
and there are people who don't eat meat but they do eat fish,
Yeah.
and they're called
Pescatarian.
pescatarians. Yeah. So I was thinking that if this guy is called out on like attacking a fish, he can explain that he's a pescafished.
Okay. I'm just going to smile and nod at that one. I see where you're going with that.
Yeah. And you know, because this is the sort of thing where I might be playing with people who don't know me and are going to ask yeah, I'm going to post the word pescafished in each of the chats so people can see it.
Yeah, it's a play on pacifist for those who didn't get
it. But pesca literally means fish. I fit the word fish in there twice because I'm that obnoxious. So anyway,
you heard it here last.
You heard it here last. And for my chat, I'm going to throw in, if you enjoyed that pun, you can enable me. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/showhills and YouTube Super.
If you didn't enjoy that pun, you can enable me.
Yeah. So then I was like, okay, so chances are somebody else in the party at some point is going to be like, okay, well, it seems kind of weird that you can attack fish but not other things, you know, and I feel like the character should have some sort of moment where it's like, ah, yes, well, this is because the highest law of the sea is we hate legalism. Like, we're just not here to debate this. This is a different culture than yours. Don't come in here and nitpick it. This is how we live. We've done it for a long time, and we're good at it. Thank you and goodbye. Like... Oh, that cat really likes the ruler.
This cat really likes pets, and since she's been poorly, she gets pets when she wants them.
Aww. I really like the way you're angling the blue lines, kind of indicating like a light source above.
Yeah, they're all different colors as well, but I don't think that picks up on camera very well.
Well, it looks great.
So, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Her paws look so holdable. I mean, she has thumbs. I mean, if she stays still enough, you'll probably be able to see them. Can I angle you? Is that okay? Oh, no. Not a big fan of being held at the moment, because that means medical procedures. Yeah, no, she's polydactyl. She's got thumbs. But she's decided that she is not going to angle them in a way that you can
see them. I saw one.
They've both. Oh, maybe you can see. No, she's going to show you her face instead.
Oh, that's okay.
She's got a little thumb down there.
Yeah,
there you go. You can see it there. She's got a thumb.
She trying to turn the page?
No, she's just being aggressively pet at the moment.
Ah.
Behind her ears, in the favourite place. Kitty wants to leave their paw prints. Oh, maybe we'll do a paw print journal at some other point.
Ooh.
You, my friend. I'm sorry to pull you around the belly. I know that's bad, but you are going to have to get down.
While you deal with the cat, I got another 5 rolling in from Sean Deere, who bringing us up to 163 angular, who says, that pun was so bad, I award you the tomato of bad puns. And then there is a emoji of a tomato. And Microbird tips 5 and says, maybe this will help tip the scales, a little something to aid the war on puns, on the side of puns, and with enough funds, it should go swimmingly. So thank you very much, Microbird. That's going to get us up to 168.
Thank you, Sakana Wren, who has subscribed to the Horde. If you look to your left and to your right, you'll see there are no exits. And has gifted 10 subs to the community. Thank you so much. Only 6 more to go for the daily goal. Oh, that's awesome. Considering I'm actually streaming tonight as well.
Woo!
And that should be absolutely doable. Thank you so much, guys. You've all been really generous and kind today. And I've needed that. I appreciate that. Like a bunch. Like a whole bunch.
Appreciation stream. Cleo, you're appreciated. Woo!
I do feel appreciated.
Yay!
So, thank you. That's nice. Oh yeah, reminder of the 5 emo max rule. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna
Any more will get pooped. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, now that you've got the cat out of your way and can see the chat and stuff easier, I need to run and grab the box fan that I'm gonna be taping this to, as well as the
No problem.
tape. So I will be RB.
Okay, Kitty is now outside. She's decided to lay just outside the back door, so she won't be coming back in for like a bit. Cleo is my favourite murder zombie and my second favourite bisexual. Thanks. I don't know any other murder zombies. Orsonator, thank you for the trident. It's appreciated. Tridents. That's a mermaid thing, kind of. So... You're not your favourite. Cam, stop bullying Blaze. It's funny. But I don't know. For some reason I feel like I need to stick up for Blaze usually. If you're wondering about who gifted you the sub, there's always a if you go up, it's usually like in your notes section. But they make it so easy. I mean, they do, but you don't have to bite all the time. I know Blaze likes it as well, so yeah. Anyway. You're your favourite and you can't prove otherwise. I don't think we need to prove it, to be honest, Blaze. We know. We know. Oh, poop. Okay. August, when do you start? You start on a Tuesday. Okay. Fine, I guess. Did the wrong one. Don't know any other zombies that stream. Oh, I know, like a few, like few zombies in the community, as it were. Yeah, there's a few of us that are about that stream.
Ooh.
Not really a community of zombies. We don't go around and go, "Ha, we're zombies," and then I go.
You don't have like a web ring?
No, not really.
Where you like cross post stuff, like, oh, I was on Zombie John Bo's thing.
No. Follow like 4 zombies on Twitch. Yeah, there are people about. What pen am I using? Well, this one for the black is a calligraphy pen. Number 1.
Probably tape over the
It's German.
edges here.
But this pen is from Hobbycraft. And it's got a brush tip and it's got a fine line, which is why I like these ones. I need more black fine liners though, because I actually, weirdly enough, I spent a lot of time cleaning out the bedroom, which is where I saw all my craft supplies that I don't use immediately. I've had a whole bunch of fine liners in there. My daughter has the Hobbycraft ones. These are good. They're quite cheap. But also for bullet journaling, they're quite good because you can also do like calligraphy stuff with them. So
That's fun.
yeah.
So
you've gone very quiet. Are you
Uh,
away from?
Yeah, let me move the mic stand a little bit toward me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Oh, you know what? Also, the mic volume is lower. Let me. No, of course, I gotta reach past the mic to turn that back up to where it was. Yeah, because I had turned that down when I was. Okay, cool. So I should be good now. But yeah, I don't know. So I was gonna ask Cleo if you we're gonna be playing in a charity one shot and like the setting is unknown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Party composition is unknown, but the the DM basically says if we end up with 6 bards, we have 6 bards. Who cares? Like this is a 3-hour game for charity. What class do you not get to play normally that you would want to give a try to? You think, or what species or whatever? Like what kind of character would you like to play?
Like my go-tos are usually sorcerers or barbarians or paladins. Those are my 3. Those are my trifecta of awesome. The thing I've not actually played is a warlock. So yeah, no, I think I'd like to play a warlock in a game. I've never really played one. That I can remember.
Yeah, for folks at home who don't know, the difference between a sorcerer and a warlock from a storytelling standpoint is a sorcerer is just kind of like born with magic, not really sure why, whereas a warlock makes a pact with a greater power. And you could argue there's some religion versus cult thing here. We're like, wait, that sounds kind of like a cleric or a paladin. But
okay, that funny you should mention that. In my game at the moment, there's a whole religious thing going on that my players, like only one of them's here today, but I think I've been very clear about the whole thing. Basically, it's a case of warlocks and clerics are the same. It's just the fact that clerics are seen as socially acceptable.
Yep. Well,
that's the difference.
Yeah, and I will say that my my divine soul sorcerer, like he doesn't go around telling people he's a sorcerer, like if he heals them with magic, he's like, I like to think I'm a cleric of the universe, and they're like, well, which god do you worship? It's like, I don't really do that, except maybe through expressions of goodwill. So, like, if you have any extra jackets you want me to drop off or whatever, I can make sure somebody gets those.
Yeah, it's all a matter of perspective.
Mm-hmm.
My house rules and Cleo's table's house rules are the same. I feel so accepted. Hey, Red.
Is there
about you earlier?
Yeah, is there a particular type of warlock, like, because you can make pacts with different types of gods or beings or deities?
Oh,
is there one
like here's the thing.
that you're like,
in my campaign, there are no gods.
Okay.
Actually, everything is all because it's sort of homebrew.
Mm-hmm.
There are no gods. There are just very powerful creatures. Some of them are good. Some of them are bad. Some of them are bad pretending to be good, and some of them are good pretending to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all kind of, yeah.
Well, okay, so I guess though, but like if you were spinning up a warlock to play in somebody else's game though, like were you thinking you would be a hexblade warlock with a magical summoning sword, or like even if you don't necessarily have a deity picked out, like what elements of the class would you want to mess with that you don't get to normally?
Honestly, I would like some form of minion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fun.
Mostly because
you could do a voice for it. You could be like, I'm Zombie Cleo's minion. I listen to her. Unlike the rest of you, if you listen to her, you'd be happy and have luxurious skin like I do. You can touch it if you want. Look at me. I'm gorgeous.
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, Yeah, I haven't actually looked up the rules for Warlock in a very long time.
I like
I
the
don't
idea of a multi-level marketing warlock where it's like my pact is with this company that sells makeup, and I have to, and I've got a minion that's like carrying the case and stuff. It's like, you know, uh, before.
Oh, Electrum Bros. I made that joke in one of I made that joke in my most recent campaign. It's just we were just sort of like obviously the bad guy is capitalism because it's always the bad guy.
Uh-huh.
But
Like
I was
Scooby-Doo.
I was just talking about like Electrum. It's just like my people hate Electrum. And so now that I'm just gonna have like NFT bros that are just Electrum bros wandering.
Oh, yeah. But no, that's the thing though, is you could do a warlock where your pact is essentially with like an NFT crypto exchange, and
Yeah.
you're because like I think people have overdone the religious conversion element with clerics and paladins.
Yeah.
That's not funny anymore. That's one of the
No.
things I love about my cleric idea. Is he does not come from a evangelical conversionary religion. Like his religion is for his tribe or his family, and it's not for everybody else. He's not going out there and trying to convince you to believe in his god of violence. His god of violence sent him there to learn from you. Like his religious expression is learning about your violent expression, not telling you how to live your life, right? But like MLM warlock, so NFT bro warlock, there's
Yeah.
something really funny there.
There's something funny about that, yeah.
And like
I love
it's
that.
accessible in like a one shot where like even if you don't like we don't have to get really deep into learning who this character is to appreciate the surface level joke is funny enough. And we could do more with it with more time to develop it.
Just it's like I was talking I don't know who I was talking to about this, but it's like there was a thing that I was considering of like having warlock that has to pay for their spells.
Uh-huh.
So like their pact is just you just give your higher power money, and that's all they really want.
Oh, you know
So
what
you
you could
can just
actually
buy-
do in that case? Because somebody was like, what if Raid Shadow Legends was your Warlock Pact? I gotta give a quick shout out to my Pact patron, Raid Shadow Legends. But you could actually do something kind of funny. I will say, if you were going to be an evangelical cleric, you could be a cleric on behalf of whatever charity you're raising money for. Or whatever.
Yeah.
There is an angle where it's like we get to roll in a quick bit of the pitch every time
one of my favorite characters was one of my paladins who was a redemption paladin.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just every time we got into a fight, we had to sit down and we had to have the talk. It's like, you don't have to do this, right? We could just stop right now and just, it was just a whole kind of. And like it became a running joke, and I really appreciated that.
Oh, we have a in our Pathfinder campaign, we have a paladin of Caden Kylan, who's part of the Pathfinder pantheon, but not the D&D pantheon. Who's basically he's called the accidental god, because he was this great warrior and champion who lived this incredible and storied life. But the one story nobody actually knows is one night, him and his pals were in this big town doing kind of a tavern crawl, and everybody got really drunk, and when they woke up, he was a god. And they don't know what happened. And that's so it's just like so he's a folk hero that became elevated, but we're not sure the exact details, so don't worry about it too much. But one of his big things is liberation and freedom are like his big ideals, and any sort of imprisonment is anathema to that. And so, like, we'll get to the end of an encounter, and, like, the monk would be like, okay, should we tie this guy up to question him? And the Caden Kylan paladin's like, well, I don't really feel comfortable tying him up. Could we just kill him if he doesn't answer questions? Is that fine. You know, and so they're kind of playing good cop, bad cop. Like, I don't know, maybe we should tie him up. I don't know, maybe we should slit his throat if he doesn't tell us what we want to hear. Like, I've got this big sword. You know, because Caden Kylan wouldn't abide me just letting you tie this guy up. That's just not cool. You know.
I actually, sorry, like my GM, the person who was GMing when I was playing that Paladin was like, oh god, no, I actually had to come up with motivations for all of my bad guys, including the minions.
Oh, because it's like because of that. Like, do we really need to... Oh, yeah, no, see, at that point, it's like, okay, you know, you start getting confronted by a lot of, living boulders. It's like, what is this boulder doing? It's falling. Why is it falling? Probably something with gravity. We're not sure how that works here.
Yeah, no, I admit that Yick was annoying, but it was funny.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing,
It
though,
was
is whatever you're
incredibly
doing, if it's, like I said, in a charity game where you don't have the benefit of your friends knowing you, you're, like, with other people who might be, like I got to play in a game with Ryan North, who wrote that, Dinosaur Comics and How to Invent Everything. And he had never played D&D before, right? And so when his character has an idea, I want to play as a character that enables him and makes him feel good about taking a risk and trying to help a charity, trying to help Child's Play by coming on. I don't want to play as a character who's like, oh, I'm going to nitpick or I'm going to fight you on everything, right? You can kind of do that with your friends and have it be funny, like, we're palling around, we're, you know, I'm just busting your chops. But, like, with a stranger who arguably, like, has better things to do, like, I think having that really high enablement factor is big.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm not sure. So like, I think with the warlock, the way you do that is you tell your minion, like you set it up so like your it's part of your minion's job. Is just like, you know, you tell your minion like, look, you know, these people and I are traveling together. I don't need them to be in bad mood. If they need something, you get it for them just like I needed it. You know, and so even if your character is kind of standoffish, you've got somebody's just like, okay, I need a quill real quick. It's like, okay, my minion runs up with a quill. You know, like, okay, okay. So now I have next problem. Like, you know, you keep the action moving. Because that's the other thing too is in these charity games, like the DM might be like, yeah, this will take about 3 hours. They haven't run this.
Oh yeah, no, I'm so 100% aware of how this bit works.
And so yeah, you really don't want to be the character that's slowing things down. You know, you can take a few minutes
particularly if there are other new people around.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And so I think that there's something to be said for like, okay, I have an idea of why my character is funny on their own, and I also have an idea of how my character will enable or interact with the other players in the group in a funny way. Okay, let's see. So this chair I'm trying to do this on is tilted, and so I'm realizing that might cause problems for how I
probably
do this. Yeah.
The campaign that started off as a sequence of one-shots and got very strange. Also, the non-Euclidean docs were my favorite.
Non-Euclidean dogs?
Docs.
Oh.
There was a like but Push was running a campaign of just like one-shots for us. And like because it was supposed to be one-shots just with consistent characters, it was just sort of like weird things and crossovers kept on happening. And then there was just sort of like just maps just grabbed because you needed a map. And it was just like, you go here, and then we just looked at this, we all just sort of looked at this map, and then it was just sort of like, how does this map work in reality? There is the perspectives and the it looks like it was all warped and it didn't work the way a map should.
Yeah.
And so it was a picture of the docs and we just called them non-Euclidean docs. It's just sort of like, I don't want to go back to the non-Euclidean docs. They give me a headache.
Nice.
It was, it was fun. I enjoyed that one.
Let's see. Horizon Penblade says you got to play a D&D game with Ryan North. That's so cool. Yeah, no, it really is. It's like I've gotten to play D&D with a lot of really cool people, and I've been thinking about what worked and what didn't because I'd like to do more of that in the future, but I also don't want to
Mhm.
always play as the same character. I was like, how do I take what worked with my Divine Soul Sorcerer, who I love the character of Ted Theodore Logan from Bill and Ted, and so being like,
Mhm.
oh, like and like I get to do stupid stuff with that concept too, because
Mm.
like we had a bit where before we got to the boss's room, somebody else pretended to be the boss's right hand man, like with a disguise spell or something, and I had like tied my own belt around my hands to act like I was tied up, and
Mhm.
you know, with a flourish when we have the big reveal, I'm like, the only bonds that can truly bind us are those we impose on ourselves. And like I had actually like tied my hands with my belt on camera, and I hold it up
Oh.
for the webcam, and then I pull them apart, and the bonds fall, and I go, "Oh, maybe not." Like, and so, but like, yeah, doing dumb stuff with that character was just great because like, there's no shame if another character's like, pretend you're tied up. Okay, cool, that tracks. There's no, I am too strong, I would never be captured, right? Like, you don't want to get
Yeah.
into that. You can do that in a long-term game, but like in a one
Yeah.
shot, you gotta roll with it.
Yeah. It took me a while to realize how to play in one shots. Picked it up quicker than some people. Dear God.
Well, you're
I
also a
have had some.
professional entertainer, and this is part of why I think it's valuable for people to hear us talking about it, because like D&D streams are like a really fun and accessible way to help charities.
Mm.
And I'm sure that there are people in our audience, like Sean Deere says, yeah, timing charity streams is a nightmare. Yeah, like if you've run these yourself with your friends, like, yeah, it can be a lot. Sorry,
Mhm.
Cleo.
I forgot what I was saying. It's fine.
That was bad on my part, though.
That's okay. It
Um,
happens.
okay, so I know we're running out of time soon. How crunched are you? Can we go a little over, or do you need to go?
We can go a little bit over. We're kind of there, but I can do a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, because it's really stormy here, and it's like I need to do a bunch of like errands where I go walk around. So I'm kind of like looking out the window and being like, well, I can't leave now anyway. So
Yeah.
um,
We've got like another like 15 minutes.
okay.
Before I have to go.
I was gonna say I had fun with the MLM Warlock. Feels like it has a lot of potential. What are there any other classes that you haven't gotten to play that you're like, oh, I don't, that'd be fun, but like I never get the chance to do it?
I mean, what have I not played? I always feel like Druid would be fun, but I never have fun whilst playing Druid.
Huh.
Because it always feels like a one-trick pony. I suppose, like, Druid of the Moon, where you have, like, pretty much infinite, like, animal spams.
Yeah, the wild shape. Because yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing is it's like, okay, if you use your wild shape in the wrong situation and then you don't get another one for a day, it's like, well, womp,
Yeah.
womp. What am I gonna do with that?
I've never played a cleric before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Swashbuckler makes a nice counterpoint to Barbarian. Yeah, that could work.
Yes. Swashbuckler's one I've never played. I've never actually played a raw fighter. And
No, I haven't either.
I think that might be interesting because like I'm kind of
way.
curious from a game design standpoint, like this is supposed to be the simplest and most accessible. And I feel like that might give me some insight into game design playing it, even if it's not necessarily as fulfilling for me in other ways.
I played a raw fighter in an evil campaign.
Uh-huh.
And he was basically he used to be a gladiator who was, he used to be a slave who bought himself out of freedom. And it was just a case of well, if I could pull myself up by my bootstraps, why can't everyone? And that was why he was evil. He was evil because
he was
because capitalism.
Yay, we brought it back around.
It's a circle. It's all a circle, Joe. Everything's capitalism's fault. Everything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. No, I mean, I'm over here like thinking to myself, like, I really need to go get those scissors, but they're all the way over there by the keyboard. So if I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna have to do this in one fluid motion. I'm gonna come all the way over here, and I'm gonna remind people that I do have rent and health insurance to pay this month. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. So, yay, I got the scissors, and hopefully I can pay rent. Woo!
Yay, rent.
Okay, I think I need to...
D&D keep reminding me why I don't play RPGs. Oh, he was the most basic bog standard human fighter that you could do.
Yeah.
I enjoyed playing him because actually playing just like, I understand why it's attractive. Playing unrestrained egomania is fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And it also seems like if you play a simpler character, you don't have to worry as much between like turns about what you're gonna do next. Because like as a wizard, I'm like constantly like, okay, we're up to like level 12 or something in our Pathfinder game. And it's like I've got all these random wands and scrolls and stuff we found. I feel like I'm constantly rummaging through my backpack. Like and it's like, okay, which spells have I cast? Which ones haven't I? Which ones do I have on scrolls? What did I prepare today? Like, whereas, like, the monk is just like, I'm gonna run up to them and jump off a wall and punch them multiple times. And I'm like, yeah, that seems relaxing.
Yeah, I mean, like, sorcerer is good for that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because sorcerer is just like I do a thing, it happens.
Yeah, that's why that's why I picked sorcerer for the charity game in the first place, because it's like I don't have a lot of options, which means I can focus on just being funny. I would not want to play a wizard in a charity game.
I want to build an evil campaign, but the players don't know they're evil.
That's hard to do.
That is incredibly hard to do.
Yeah, oh, okay. Well, you could have it be like they are cogs in the machine, where like they don't realize their bosses are evil. But yeah, them being pawns does not necessarily make them they're only evil once they realize they're complicit, if they don't rebel. So you need to have a turn where they have an opportunity to rebel, I think, for it to work.
I mean, to be fair, my my
Lost Cult Music, thank you for the
my
3.
fighter didn't realize he was evil. He was just a boomer. He didn't realize he was evil.
He didn't see himself as evil.
No.
Yeah.
He was just like telling life the way he is, you know? You got to work hard for what you want in life. I was a slave and I managed to pay my way out. That kind of attitude.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so Sean Deere says fighters are easier because they have no spell slots, but there's also a lot of math for adding up the multiple attacks. Well, the thing is, though, too, I love the idea of prop comedy on these webcam charity streams. So pulling out the abacus, and it's just be like my fighter's trademark is I carry an abacus to keep track of how much damage I've done against. It's like, it's like I am constantly setting records for the ferocity of my blows or something like that, and it's just like I'm tallying up, like, I rolled all these dice and I'm tallying on camera. Like, that's a funny gimmick. It would get old after 3 hours, but it's only a 3-hour thing. You wouldn't want to do that in a campaign, but I think it could work in this context.
Yeah. What other things haven't I played? Never played a monk.
Yeah, monk I haven't played either. I like the movement element of the monk. That's at least, and I'm not sure if all monks are spec'd that way or just the one that I play with in my Pathfinder campaign. But like, he's got a bunch of feats he took to like run up walls, run across like short distances of water. Like, he could like run 15 feet across a stream or something. I don't know if he has a run through treetops feat yet, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style, but I'm pretty sure that's like in the pipeline, maybe for level 15 or 16. If he doesn't have it now, we'll get there. And so the idea is that no matter any enemy that tries to like stand at a distance from the party and cast spells or control minions, he is up in their face. If there's like a booming voice yelling, "Ignore the man behind the green curtain," he is over there tearing down drapes. He does not care. And I think that's like really fun and neat. But like we don't need two of those in the campaign,
No.
you know?
No.
Now in a one shot though, it's like the idea though too is that you could have it be like, okay, so you're monks, but you're I had an idea for a monk character, where the idea is that the character became a monk when he was like 15, and he's like 55 now, and he's replacing the brother who used to go out into the world to make agreements to sell the beer the monastery produces to taverns, has retired. And so now this guy he's like 55. He's been inside the monastery for 40 years. And he's just like constantly shocked at how much the world has changed. He's just like, oh man, candles used to be super expensive. In the monastery, we still barely use them. But like everywhere I go to, this tavern's got like 80 candles. They've got like, and he's just like freaking out about like how modern everything is. But also he's a beer salesman, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not like he's not like he was chosen because he can be trusted to uphold the honor of the monastery. He's not going out there to party and get drunk. He's there to put on a good face and represent the monastery, but also to show people that their beer is like, worth partying and getting drunk with. So maybe he carries some small kegs as samplers or whatever. So every time that
MLM.
So the thing is, though, this is not an MLM. This is
But it should be.
But no, but
Would you like to carry our beer and sell it?
But I love the
That's just
idea
a
though that this
business
is,
with
but this is like he's basically, but so the thing with the warlock is that the warlock always has like, there's always a catch almost, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
pacts. Whereas this is just like, no, it's just a group of well-meaning people who believe in the value of communing with their god through hard work, and it's his job to go out into the world and sell their artisanal products. You know, he's up against the factory beer guys.
The factory.
You know, the mass-produced stuff. I was thinking that could be really fun. Real quick, though, we also got a tip from Patricia for 25 rolling in, so I'm going to rotate the camera another 25 degrees, bringing me up to 196. Thank you, Patricia, who writes that this is for, and I quote, being awesome, ! So, I mean, clearly we're doing well, Cleo. Mind of Me says, like, the guy would, like, freak out about metal utensils. Yeah, oh my god. Oh my god, look at this fork. Like, we use chopsticks, or like we like never eat with metal. Like, all the food is pre-cut. Like, we've got the one knife in the kitchen, and we keep it sharp, but it's one knife for 60 people. You know, like everybody gets their own knife at dinner. Is like, you know, but I feel like there's something intrinsically funny about
there is something funny about that. That's a good character.
And I don't think it needs I think that and the MLM thing stand on their own. I don't think stacking them is better than either of them. If that makes sense.
Anyway, it is time for me to go.
This has been so fun talking to you, Cleo. I had a really good morning.
You, Joe.
Alrighty.
Excellent.
I gotta go run my errand, so I'll let you hop in and talk to your chat, and I'll talk to mine.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Cleo. We're gonna disconnect from the Discord. Okay, y'all, I hope that you had a fantastic time hanging out with Cleo and I today. I've made a lot of progress on this fan. It's not actually entirely done, because we still have, like, this other side here, which, objectively, I don't want to leave this half finished, and I know that also, like, it's still storming pretty hard out, and I've got stuff I gotta do outdoors, so I'm gonna hang out for a little bit. Cleo's going now. I'm gonna stick around for a few minutes at least, So if y'all want to keep hanging out with me, you are welcome to. Okay, so let's see. We talked about MLM Warlock. We talked about pacifist cleric who loves violence. We talked about monk who sells beer and just has not been in the outside world for 40 years. Okay. I feel like I had an idea. Oh yeah, the barbarian would be the misunderstanding barbarian. That one's more wordplay than like a character concept that's really fleshed out. Um, but yeah, very very enthusiastic, happy to help barbarian. I Happy to help, I think, is a defining thing for all of these. With the warlock, the character doesn't have to be happy to help because the minion can be. We said wizard was going to be too hard of a thing. Yeah, we haven't done thief. We have not done thief yet. Yeah, I like the and we haven't done rogue. Or sorry, we haven't done bard. So let's take a little bit of time before we wrap up to maybe think about those two. Does that sound good to y'all? And I'm gonna post the tip link one last time. Money is very tight this month, so any tips that y'all want to send my way will be used for rent and health insurance at this point. Like I've got some fun stuff planned for my birthday that other people are paying for, so it's not like, oh no, like there's gonna be no joy in my life, blah blah blah. But yeah, things are definitely, this is a tight month in terms of my discretionary funding at this point. So let's go ahead and keep taping this up. So somebody suggested honest thief. So the thing about rogue is there actually is kind of an archetype. There's in the film Bullet Train, there's the guy who he ends up surrounded by assassins, but he's just like a burglary guy. And Ant-Man also has like the angle of like, oh, I don't rob people because that's violent. I just burgle them. Thief that only steals items that are cheese colored. I like the idea that if you're playing as a rogue, I like the idea that like maybe playing as a rogue who is a spy. Like you're basically, you know, you're basically the Faerun equivalent of James Bond, and you know the idea could be that you're not necessarily on a mission for this. It's like you are on vacation between missions or whatever. But like if you were gonna play as a secret agent in D&D, I feel like rogue would be a good class for that, right? So the idea, no. Okay. That is not designed to move that way. We're all right. Okay, that's not great. I'll tell you that. That is not an optimal configuration for how things tumble when I am working, but doesn't look like any damage was done. Hey, we just got 10 from Gabriel, who says, get that rent and health insurance. Woo! Yeah, believe me, being able to cover both of those things keeps me out of contempt of court as the primary provider for my daughter. So, somebody says, honest thief could also mean like Robin Hood. So I would almost say that Robin Hood isn't a rogue, or he might have he's more of a ranger. Like, and we haven't talked about ranger yet. Ranger's really hard to do well, in my opinion, in a one-shot, because rangers a lot of times they're supposed to be really environmentally based, and you don't know for a charity one-shot what the setting's gonna be usually. So you can do a fish out of water thing there, but I don't know that it's as funny as the monk fish out of water thing. Oh gosh. No, that's twice now. This is... Okay. So, one thing we learned is apparently I built this sturdier than I thought I had. which is good, but it's bad that it keeps falling because it's not intended to be dropped. And, okay, so I'm going to put my knee here, and we're going to move the mic over some. Yeah. But yeah, con artist would be an interesting one. Yeah, I love the idea of like the Frank Abagnale Catch Me If You Can style con artist, where it's like he's a rogue that claims to be a paladin or something, right? Or he's a rogue that claims to be a ranger, you know? Oh, like, yeah, I'll lead you through the forest, but then he'll actually rob you. Like, is kind of a funny, like a con man type thing. Okay. So we have one more bit here we need to do, and this is going to be the most awkward, which is why I saved it for last, because of how we're going to have to lean this. Okay. Okay. Whoops. That is not going well so far. But yeah, I don't know enough about the new Ranger rules to pull that off. I think I'd have to Google more, or not just or Google has just become my general word for like research. I need to go and actually get the player's handbook and look at the thing is, I think they updated the Ranger rules, and I don't know what the updated Ranger rules are. So, and I don't know, I think Pathfinder tried making changes to Ranger too. That's one of the most challenging classes to modernize, it seems like. Okay. So either way, we have the whole shroud on here. Super good now. So yay, mission accomplished there. Okay. I think we're ready to wrap up this stream then. Do 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 da 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 ba bump do 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 bum 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 da 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 da. Alrighty, so we're gonna do final check. Cool. We want to make sure that any tips that rolled in are acknowledged. So let me do a manual refresh on PayPal real quick, just to make sure we are all set. Okay. Looks like everything is getting... Yep. All of these that I'm seeing were acknowledged. So we are all set there. Thank y'all so much for hanging out today. We are not going to do an official raid because Twitch is broken, kind of. But my sister Redacted Hills just started recording a new song. So if you want to head over to twitch.tv/redactedhills and find out what that new song is, you can do that now. Thank you all so much again. I had a fantastic time this morning. I think we did a good job of cheering Cleo up. I know sometimes Cleo and I commiserate on these streams. And I came in here with a goal. I was like, today is not a commiseration stream. Today is a contrast stream. We're gonna come in strong, and we're gonna Pagliacci it up. And I feel like we did it. And y'all contributed so much to everybody in the chat, everybody who gave Cleo bits or tips or whatnot. But like, yeah, also thank you for helping me too, because this is a tough month financially, and so that definitely buoyed my spirits and made it a lot easier for me to be like, let's focus on being goofy, because it's like I'm not immediately panicking. Yay, let's do this. Okay, we're going. We're closing this out. Until next time, y'all. This is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do 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 do.